Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel Kiwi Investments, where we talk about investments for Kiwis. This channel's quite new. This channel probably won't last long. I don't know, it depends on you. But I promise this channel will never have one of those annoying, long, pointless, overly done intro sections like some other videos in YouTube, like these.
So back to what I was saying. Could be us.
Pointless. Okay, let's get straight into it. Today I'll be comparing Sharesies with ASB Securities. I have been using both for years now, and even though they are both DIY trading platforms, they are very different to each other. And depending on you, one might be better than the other. I use both, but majority of my money is invested through ASB Security, and that's because the type of trading I do. Now there's three types of trading you can do. There's day trading, which you can't really do in the New Zealand stock market. The US market is much better for that, and I'll make a separate video on how Kiwis can get involved. So day trading is basically you buy a whole bunch of shares and then you sell on the same day. The second type of trading is swing trading, where you buy and then you sell after a few days or a few weeks has passed. The third type of trading is buy and hold. So let the comparison begin with the difference in their fee structures. Fees can eat up your profits or make your losses even bigger, so it's important to keep in mind when you're deciding which platform you want to use. So let's have a look. So looking at transaction fees for ASB, any transaction worth up to $1,000, you get charged $15. Transactions that are worth $1,000 to $10,000, you get charged $30. Transactions over 10 grand, you get charged 0.3%. To use ASB Security is completely free, so they don't have a platform fee, only when you make transactions. Now let's look at Sharesies. Transaction fees if you're buying funds, so like ETFs, they are free, which is amazing. When you're buying individual companies, transactions that are worth up to $3,000, you get charged 0.5%. Transactions worth over $3,000, you get charged 0.1%. And unlike ASB, Sharesies charge a platform fee to use their platform. So with the platform fee, you get different options. The platform is free if you have less than $50, and that includes your portfolio value. If it's greater than $50, then you have the option of paying $30 per year or $1.50 a month if your portfolio value is $50,000 to $3,000. If it's over $3,000, you have the option of paying $3 per month. I don't know why you would go with this option, because $3 a month equals to $36 per year. So you might as well pay the $30 one-off pay instead of $3 per month. Now let's take these fees and put it into an example. Now let's say you're about to buy a company with ASB and you're going to spend $4,000 on trade. So when you execute the transaction, you get charged $30 to buy. And let's say you hold it for 5 years. The first year is free because you don't pay any platform fee. Same with the second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, and so on. So when you decide to sell, it doesn't matter how much the value of the trade is, as long as it's over $1,000 and less than $10,000, you're gonna get charged $30. So the total fee comes up to $60. Now let's look at what Sharesies would have charged you if you choose Sharesies as the platform to buy that company with. So Sharesies would have charged you 0.5% for the first $3,000, so that equals to $15, and another 0.1% for the remaining $1,000, which equals to $1. So the total transaction fee would be $16. Now that seems much cheaper than ASB, right? Well, not really, because for the first year you pay a platform fee, which is $30. And then you do the same for the second year, and the third year, and the fourth year, and the fifth year. So you pay $30 per year to be with Sharesies. And then let's say you decide to sell after 5 years, and the value of the company that you bought has gone up by $1,000. So now it's worth $5,000. Now when you decide to sell that, they have the same fees. 0.5% for the first $3,000, so that's $15, and 0.1% for the remaining, which equals to $2, so $17 for the transaction. So the total amount that you have paid in fee comes up to $183 to buy and hold this company, which is $123 more than ASB. So those yearly and monthly fees with Sharesies will definitely add up. And I want you guys to be aware of that because the way it's set up is to be subtle and for you to not notice those things. Sharesies would be cheaper if you're planning on buying and selling a lot and making frequent small transactions. So let's say you don't just buy one company, you buy two companies. So with ASB, let's go back to ASB. For the second company, let's say you're going to spend $4,000 again. ASB would charge you $30 for the transaction. First year is free, second year is free, third year is free, fourth year is free, fifth year is free. And then when you sell, they're going to charge you $30 again. So the total transaction comes to $60. So for those two companies that you bought and then sold, the total transaction comes to $120. Now let's look at Sharesies buying two companies. So $4,000, Sharesies would charge you $16 again. And for the first year, well, you don't pay another $30 because you only pay $30 once. Your annual fee has already been paid. So nothing goes in this box, nothing goes in this box. $30 is already paid, so nothing goes in this box. And then when you sell, let's say it's worth $5,000. So it's gone up $1,000 just like the first company. And you pay $17 again. So the total transaction fee for that company only comes to $33. So for the two companies, that's a total fee paid of $216, which is $96 more than ASB. But if you were to buy more and more and more companies, Sharesies would work out to be cheaper. If you're buying and holding for a long period of time and not looking to buy and sell that often, ASB would actually be cheaper. When people are buying shares and selling them for the first time, they do kind of get carried away with things. That brings me to my second point. And that's the look and the feel of the different platforms. Okay, so here I am signed into my ASB and my Sharesies account. And right from the get-go, you can see how different the look and feel is. So Sharesies is full of pictures and colors. ASB on the other hand is all numbers and doesn't bother with pictures and kind of feels heavy and more serious. Whereas Sharesies is more easy to navigate and friendly and pretty pictures and stuff. ASB looks intimidating at first, but once you understand the basic, it becomes very simple. Buying and selling shares feels different as well, and I'll show you. So when you're buying shares through ASB, you come up here to the top where it says place an order. Click on that. Before you come here, you have to know which share you want to buy. So you go, whether you want to sell or buy, you go buy. And in which stock market it is, so you can access the ASX, which is the Australian stock market. They do have a higher fee for that. So you go NZX, and then you have to type in the company. So let's say Air New Zealand. So these are the bonds down here. So you click on that, go next. And here you have to know how many shares you want to buy. So you have to calculate all that before you come here. So let's just say you want to buy 1,000 shares. You can buy at the market price or you can set a limit. You can do this in Sharesies as well. You can set a limit or buy at market price. And here we have some more numbers. So this is the last price it was recorded at. It hasn't changed at all today. What people are willing to buy, what people are willing to sell, what it opened at today, the highest, low, and so on. And then you have to click which account the money has to come out from, and then you put in your phone number in case anything goes wrong, and then you go preview order, and then you confirm everything and execute the transaction. And then you can come up to view my trades, and it will tell you whether it's on the market, whether it's completed, or whether it's buying, things like that. Once it is bought, it'll show up on your portfolio here. So these would be your shares. So when you're buying through Sharesies, you come and click on invest, and you can type in the company that you want and it'll show up. Or you can go companies and then just browse to all these little pretty pictures. There it is. And it'll show you a little detail about the company, the price. And the reason why it's different colors, so you see how it's gray here and it's pink? That's because these two dots show me that I've already invested in the company and how the investment has gone since I bought the company. So that's actually a pretty cool feature that Sharesies have, which ASB doesn't. And then you go click on invest, you put the order, or you can set the limit, just like in ASB, and then you type in the amount in dollars that you want to invest. So not how many shares, but amount of dollars. I can't invest anything because I don't have anything in my wallet. But that's the difference. In Sharesies, you invest in amount of dollars and you can buy fraction shares. Whereas ASB, you had to have the whole amount in your account ready to go. So it'll show up here in your account. If you don't have enough money for the transaction, I don't think they will complete the transaction. I'm not too sure about that. Maybe they might, and your account might go in credit, but I always had enough money in there. So again, yeah, you had to put in the dollar amount, whereas ASB, you had to put in the share amount. So which one do I like? I like the look and feel of ASB Securities. I like that it feels more serious because in the end, this is your hard-earned money that you're about to invest and potentially lose. So I don't want it to feel light and friendly. Even when you go to buy shares from ASB and they ask you how many shares you would like to buy, I had to stop and think about how much do I have right now? How much can I afford? What's the price right now? And how much does the shares have to go up for me to break even from the fees? Whereas in Sharesies, it's like, here's $4,000, give me $4,000 worth of shares. I don't really have to think about too much. I know Sharesies has spent a lot of time and a lot of effort went into making their website feel friendly as possible. But I don't know, I bought a lot of shares from Sharesies, which I do regret now. And that only happened because it was so easy to invest, and I probably wouldn't have done that if I was only using ASB Security. The friendliness and the easiness is not a bad thing because Kiwis do need to invest more. The amount of Kiwis that are investing in the market is very low, and more companies are looking to list their companies in overseas stock market, so like the ASX, which is the Australian stock market, and that's because there's more money coming through there, because there's more people investing in it. And that's a bit sad because that means these New Zealand companies are getting owned by people from overseas. So Sharesies is doing a good thing by making this as friendly as possible and encouraging people to invest. I'm only nitpicking and saying these things just so that you are more aware and you can make an informed decision on which platform you want to use. Everyone's different, everyone has a different style of investing. Once you know yours, you should use the right platform. So let's keep going with the differences. The next point I want to make is that when you buy a company through ASB, you actually feel like an owner of the company because they send you letters like these. So this is when I bought into Genesis. They send like this really pretty welcome packages. Notice of shareholder meeting. And like letters from the CEO. Oh, this is another good one. I'm gonna try and show it, but I'm trying to use my fingers to block out my address and my CSN number. Ah, it's not working. I'll take a picture and show it. It says, welcome to Set Energy and congratulations on becoming an owner of our company. You feel like a boss. So those kind of things, it's pretty cool, right? You actually feel like an owner of the company. You don't get that through Sharesies. You just click buy and that's it. No letters, no welcome packages. Oh, I should mention, even though you don't get these nice welcome letters from the CEO and the company, you can still participate in share purchase plans when the company announces it. So Sharesies will send you this nice email about the share purchase plan. They'll explain what it is, how it works, the details, what to do. But that's actually quite nice. It's very friendly, like I said before. Explains everything well. So that's nice. Okay, let's talk about things you can get with one platform which you can't get with the other platform. Starting off with fraction shares. With Sharesies, you can buy fraction shares. But with ASB, you had to type in the exact whole amount that you want to buy. So in this case, if I would have bought it through ASB, I wouldn't have gotten this 0.15 for amount of shares. I could have only bought 184. And I would have had to calculate that before I made the investment. Whereas in Sharesies, I just said I have this amount of money, buy how many shares you want. But at that time, I would have had $520 and I would have said, hey, I have $520, give me as many shares as you can. And they would have bought 184.15 shares. Whereas ASB, I would have had to go on and calculate how many shares I can afford myself with the one with the $520. That makes sense to you. So what can ASB provide that Sharesies can't? Well, first you have this, which I don't use. I didn't set this up. So you can have a watch list. So it'll tell you all the details about what's happening with your wish list companies. And another thing ASB has is company announcements. So these are all the company announcements that's released by NZX today. Sharesies offers something similar. So they have something called Lunch Money, which is an email subscription that you can subscribe for. And to be honest, to me, it's not really that helpful. They call it Lunch Money because they send it around lunchtime, and they just have some company announcement, just some company announcement. But you can get way more with ASB. But to be honest, if you want all the company announcements, you can just go straight onto the NZX website and get it for free because it's all public. Right now, I'm just showing you how different the two platforms showcases the announcements. Just coming back to the example of the Air New Zealand one, another thing that ASB has that Sharesies doesn't have is this little table that pops up when you click here, View Dip. So this is a handy table that I always look at when I'm buying shares. So currently the share price of Air New Zealand is $2.98. You can see that here, last recorded price $2.98. But when you look at this table, you see the price at which people are willing to buy and the price people are willing to sell at. So over here, you have one person trying to buy 16,000 worth of shares at $2.98. But he hasn't gotten that because the next person that wants to sell is selling at $3. And there's two of them selling 12,000 shares. If you come and place an order at market price, most likely you're going to pay $3 instead of $2.98. So that's very handy to know. If someone sells at market price, then it's going to go to this guy who wants to buy at $2.98. So looking at this table, you can kind of predict what you're going to end up paying for the shares. And another thing that ASB Security can provide is the Morningstar recommendations. So these are the analyst recommendations. So you have the latest recommendation, and if you go buy, and these are what they're telling you to buy. If you want to go just New Zealand stock market. So these are the only two that they're telling you to buy right now. I probably won't buy Sky with all the Netflix, Disney Plus. I probably would stay away from that. It'll be interesting to see why they say buy it. And if you trade regularly with ASB Security, then they give you access to individual companies. So right now, these are the only things that you have access to. But if you make a trade once every 3 months, you can type in the company and see what they say about the company. I haven't traded in a while, mainly because I've been busy with university studies. So I'm only now getting back into the stock market again. So if you're thinking of signing up with Sharesies, there's a referral link in the description. If you use that to sign up, then you get $10 startup credit. But do use that as soon as you can because that link expires in the end of January 2020. So in a few weeks from when this video is released. I made a Sharesies tutorial and how to sign up using that link in a separate video. And that video should pop up in your screen right now. So you can just click on it and see how you can sign up. Sorry, I don't have anything to give like that with ASB, so I guess they don't like giving out money. And that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye.